If you do not like to see blood or people poking themselves to bleed, this is a medical test, and there is blood. I did bleed. I poked myself. Blood. So there's a blood warning right now. This is what this is. If you don't like that type of stuff, do not watch this video because that's what's in it. TikTok strikes again. I saw this and I thought this is really weird. So, know your blood type. Know your blood type. That's just weird. And it's a kit you can buy on Amazon. It's just some simple steps apparently. So it has full instructions, and one of the first instructions says, read all instructions before you do this. So I don't want to get stuck and then be stuck bleeding. I strive on being weird. One alcohol swab. Just one? I guess you only need one. Alright, so there are these. These are called the Eldon sticks. And separate them. This is the card that you put the actual blood on. This is the one that gives a chemical reaction and tells you what your blood type is. There's a chemical on it. Each of these circles, you can't really see it too well, is raised because there's actually a chemical that it interacts with. So you put all your information on it. I'm not going to, simply because I'm just doing it because I'm incredibly curious. I knew what my blood type was at one point, but I forgot. Okay. This is a little more complicated. I can't do it sitting down like this. I need to do a couple of things. So I'm going to move this. So what you're supposed to do is put water, a drop of water on each of these. I'm going to prep my finger. Press this against that and go. Okay. Okay, that's real. I'm shaking a little bit because I'm not scared of blood or anything, but it's a good wound. There we go. Now it's bleeding because my heart is pumping. So I'm gonna let that sit for a second and attend to my wound. I'm coming along okay. I think most of the bleeding is stopped. Ooh, that was. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. That's doing something like this normally scares me a lot, but you know, over this pandemic, I think I've learned more about myself, and I've learned to just go with it, do it, get it done with. And I think we're in pretty good shape. So I'm still a little bit shaky because big old chicken. There we go. Tilt the card to an almost upright position, approximately 45-degree angle. Hold it for 10 seconds at each angle, so you don't stop when you see the first reactions. The RH series reactions are slower than A and B. So once you're ready, once these things are set, this tells you what your blood type is. O positive. It seems like it's an O positive right now, which is really interesting. So I've been letting it sit here about 5 minutes, and I think the results are O positive. That's very interesting. As you can see, two mostly solids, one with a different coloration here with looks more broken up, and then another mostly solid. That's very fascinating. So I'm O positive blood according to this test. This is not the be-all end-all test. It's not the be-all end-all. It's just a way to get a ballpark. Now, I think the fact that I voluntarily poked myself with a razor and gave myself and made myself bleed a little bit on purpose is a feat in and of itself, but it's really interesting. I think it is a result, because I'm looking at this thing again and I didn't realize this means an invalid test. So it was a valid test and it came out with that. So that's really fun. It's just it's really fascinating. So now you know way too much about me.